yeah, it's a classic example for having way too much low end, way too much kick, way too much bass.
Talking about forever.
And I'm back, finally in the studio, feeling all good, relaxed. Vacations were amazing. If you haven't checked them out, we were in Germany doing a little tour. There were 6 or 7 vlogs, quite interesting if you're more into traveling and sightseeing. But don't worry, from now on it's full back to working on my music career, on my productions and all of the business stuff. And speaking of business stuff, there's a lot of business stuff. I neglected to do anything while I was gone. I really wanted to do nothing that has to do with music business, running my labels or anything. Just really enjoy the vacations. And that is by far the most annoying part, being self-employed. Before you go on vacations, you have to work more. While you're on vacations, you still do little things. And once you come back, it just hits you. All of the stuff you didn't do, it's still there waiting for you. So this entire week will be quite busy. I will have to take care of a lot of these things. Today is Sunday. I even came here on Sunday to be able to just try to take away a little bit of that workload for the entire week. So I think today just another edition, we haven't done it in a while, of track submits. So, track submits, the segment where you send me your tracks, I listen to them and give you feedback. If you're interested to also get feedback for your song, the link is down below in the description. Let's get right into the very first one by Razor, called Divine. Good track. The arrangement is almost perfect. There are 2 breaks and 2 big drops that are interesting. It hits. The mixing is alright. I would say like the drop part gets a little bit boring at the very end. I think the main melody could switch it up a little more. But other than that, a really good song. I think maybe vocals would be cool for the break, to make the break more interesting, because it's more like ambient kind of pad sounds. But yeah, in general, this is definitely going into the right direction. So congrats for making this cool track. Next up by Nexo, Shiny Days. Kind of similar style than the previous one. This one is a little bit more cheerful in the melody and the sound design. I think the mixing could be definitely improved. In the low end, it's not really tight. I think mainly because the kick just needs to be another one for this style of music. And also the main synthesizer is a little bit too high in volume, also a little bit too high in frequencies. Trying to mix it up or trying to find something that sits a little lower in the mix. And the drums, they sound a little bit loose. I think mainly because the samples are more live samples, I think, for this kind of style. And I think I know where this person tries to go to. You need different kinds of samples. So yeah, actually all of the drum samples, I would try and reconsider them and make them more like those other tracks, if that's what you want to go for. If you want to do what they do just with different drums and have it in a live way, then go for it. But maybe try to make it a little tighter, have all of the drums in one group, compress them, have the right reverbs, because it's sounding a little bit loose. And also like the volumes between the drums and the main synthesizer and the bass should be remixed. It's a little off. Yeah, this one is a classic example. It's by Rinzis and called Scary. It's an instrumental, so I'm assuming this person intends to put vocals on top. Yeah, it's a classic example for having way too much low end, way too much kick, way too much bass. You can hear in the break it sounds kind of balanced, and once the drop hits with the kick and bass, it just is so much that it's pressing down onto the other elements. Because as you know, like in mixing, you have a certain space available. Kick and bass take up most of the space, but if you put a way too big kick and bass in this little space, it will just push all of the other elements down in the background. It starts pumping. It sounds really awkward. So here I would really consider mixing the song from scratch again, and definitely using a whole lot of low cut. I mean, I did the same mistake at the beginning. It's a mistake almost everyone does, because you're listening to other people's music and you're like, hey, I should do kind of the same, but even better. And better usually when you start out means more bass. But there is no way to have more bass in your track than these professionals, because they already aim for maximum bass, clean, tight, low end. And if you try to make it even more than they do, it's usually too much. The next one is by DRMFLVR. I hope that's the right way to say it. Track is called Pulse.
I say I don't need you.
This one is definitely my personal favorite because it combines so many elements of different styles that I love. The drums have this 80s funky kind of vibe. The arpeggiators and the synthesizers are into a progressive house direction. The vocals are cool, it's chill. The arrangement, there isn't really one, so the arrangement is probably the thing I would work on next. The mixing isn't quite there yet. It's for me still like more a demo or draft. But all of the elements that are in there are actually perfect. I would just, yeah, mix them. Maybe considering another kick, because this one doesn't really punch through. I really like this one. So whoever made it, DRMFLVR, once it's finished, just send it again, please, to me. I would like to listen to it again in a full finished version. And yeah, might be even a release for the main label or maybe the sub label. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I will now just sit here, do all of the business stuff to try and have as much time available to also be able to vlog the next entire week. I don't want to just sit here and do business stuff. I also want to work on my next single. I would love to share everything about it with you, but I'm still waiting for 2 last contracts. So thanks a lot for watching. Again, if you're interested to send in your tracks for this track submit thing, the link is down below in the description. And also, I think a lot of people missed it. The song Remedy by Gary Ocean featuring Gavin Beach is released, or was released on Friday actually, but since I was on vacation, so a lot of people didn't even watch that vlog. So now again, for you, the first link in the description, Remedy. It's a really cool track, and please support Gary Ocean and Gavin Beach. They definitely deserve it.